Welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. Join hosts Dan Melnick and Qasim Masood as they explore big ideas, limitless possibilities, and engage with visionaries, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders who dare to dream big, get inspired, motivated, and find practical tips for personal growth. Think big, dream bigger, and ignite your potential.
All right, welcome to Think Big with Dan and Qasim. And if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself, tell us where you live and what you do for a living.
Hi, Dan. Thank you. First off, thank you for having me on. This is such a wonderful opportunity. And I am from Seattle, Washington, and I am founder of a neuro-inclusive braless apparel company. And our mission is to empower women to be shamelessly comfortable with their full selves through braless innovation and neuro-inclusivity.
Awesome. So how did you get the idea to start this company?
Yeah, so it was a personal problem. So I used to be a consultant in healthcare, and it was like my first big time job. I was, I think when you're in that mode, you're like trying to prove yourself and like feeling extra aware and sensitive to how you're performing. And I had to have tough conversations as a consultant does, especially with doctors who are not performing up to quality standards. And as you can imagine, that conversation was hard sometimes, and it's a delicate conversation. And I wanted to look my best and feel good in what I was wearing so I can just, focus on my job. But I have sensitive skin, and a bra just really always dug into me, and I just always feel super grouchy. Like I was like sweating going to these conversations. So like if you have something like a wire band, something tight around you and you're sweating, that creates friction, it's uncomfortable. And I was like, man, there has to be another way. So yeah, and I realized, when I'm just like on my desk all day, I don't need the support. It's just the nipping that freaks everybody out, especially in a more stuffy professional healthcare environment. So that's what I went about to find and ultimately create for myself, something that's bandless, super comfortable, professional, but solves for that mental discomfort of how your body's being perceived.
Awesome. So I guess like as of right now, is your product being sold mostly in retailers or e-commerce, or I guess what does that look like for your business?
Yeah, so right now we are in a boutique store, some by some style. It's in Capitol Hill and all, but primarily e-commerce. The blurred out background is Victory headquarters, so it's yeah.
But I guess like how have you gotten like the word out so far? Like have you run
Mm.
ads or like how have you gotten in front of all of your customers that are buying from your website?
Right, yeah. So we launched on Kickstarter in June 2022 and delivered and produced $22,000 in pre-orders in November, December. And that was how I got my first order out and the word out. The Kickstarter community is really great. They're open to trying new products. They're like looking for these new products, and they're really good at giving feedback too. And also pre-orders, you don't have to front up all the money yourself for your first round of manufacturing. So like highly recommend.
Awesome. Well, I guess like as of now, right? I mean, like obviously that we're just starting a new year is 2024. So what is your biggest goal for this year? Like, what are you looking to achieve for the business?
Yeah, definitely. I think with any business, it's like finding product market fit, like who are your customers? And e-commerce apparel is very, very saturated. So we right now are trying to test out different we're just trying to find our customers. So, people who are highly sensitive persons or have sensory sensitivities, we're for you. We're also exploring the preteen and overstimulated mothers market because, it's a very sensitive transitionary period for women and their changing bodies, and bras aren't comfortable, and usually when buds are budding they don't need that support. So we're in like finding product market fit right now with organic content and paid ads.
So are you doing like customer interviews? Like, how do you make sure that your product is resonating with all these different audiences, which you think could be your ideal customer?
Right. Yeah. Part of my role as a CEO is definitely a lot of customer interviews. I've had like 5 this week. And really capturing that in a good, digestible, like able to take that qualitative data into more quantitative format is something I've been working through on an Excel spreadsheet. So, but but yeah, definitely customer interviews and like how asking customers like, how do you think my product helps your pain point, or how would you think our Victory No Nip tea, how would you describe it to a friend, and using those words to really hone in on our product market fit, like our customers' words.
Awesome. But I guess like
Yeah.
for you, right, in terms of the vision,
hmm
so is it more so like are you really focused on scaling up like the e-commerce channel and subscriptions? Or are you looking to try and get like into retailers? Like what would you really, maybe not even this year, but just in general, like what are you really, I guess, like looking to achieve for the business from that standpoint?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So definitely. Okay. So we want to launch our second pre-order campaign. It'll probably be on Kickstarter. So right now we're collecting feedback to iterate, and we're in the process of improving our current no nip tea. And yeah, it's been really fun meeting some really talented designers. And so we want to do the pre-order campaign, get more product in, and get more product funded, which is also a hard part of a product based business. And from there, hopefully prepare for our raise if it makes sense. Or, if we make enough money from the Kickstarter to just go at it, that'd be the dream. But yeah, we'll see it's kind of up to the universe what happens. But we'll
Well, I
definitely try
guess
our
like
best. Yeah.
Right, but I guess
Yeah.
like, I'm just curious, right, in terms of like what's the
hmm
ideal. So let's just say either you get, a good amount of capital from the Kickstarter, like if you raise money, would it be like doubling down on your e-commerce like marketing, or would it just be like, going to these shows and getting in front of all these retailers that you want to have your product in? And like where do you see, your business from that standpoint? What would be like an ideal scenario if that makes sense?
Oh, okay, got it. Well, yeah, I'm new to the e-commerce space, so I right now I think D2C makes sense right now because I've just personally heard some wholesaling stories that might make it difficult,
Right.
but the ultimate goal would be we have one patent pending, and then we have another prototype that we hope to patent. So the long-term goal would be to license out our patent.
Okay. So
Yeah.
long term, you'd want to,
Sounds
it's like
like you're getting
essentially,
at, yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. So I guess it's like not really focused like on your brand, but more so like white labeling. It's like a large company where they could sell your product under the patent licensing, essentially.
Exactly. Like we want to be the place when you think of victory, like you think of ultimate comfort and really innovative things to do with your boobs.
For sure. Awesome. So
Yeah.
I guess like as of now, right? Like when somebody's buying from you, like what would you say is like the average order value? Somebody typically like buy one, or do you sell like, 10 packs? Like what does that look like?
Yeah, right now it's still just one because this is a new product. It's a new way for boobs to be because we don't have any support. So it's more like a century women's breasts have been like supported in something, or either probably over like a corset, bra, whatever. So our product, it just lets your breast friends hang freely. And so the sizing was difficult for that because regular size charts, they, account for breasts that are like held up already. So
Right.
when boobs are just natural, they just love to go wherever they want to go. So yeah, so since it's a new product, I think it's people just
People are just
want to order
buying
one
one to just
just to,
like
yeah,
try it out, and then if they like it, then they might come back and buy more, essentially.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And then like so you mentioned also, right, that you were running ads. So it's like, is that something that's been converting for you? Like do you do Facebook, Instagram, TikTok? Like what has been successful for you from that standpoint?
Yeah, so we've tried TikTok ads and Pinterest ads. Well, we ran TikTok ads during the holiday season, so it's super competitive. We did get some orders from that, but got a lot of if you're having a new product, and just prepare for like the onslaught of mean comments on TikTok for running
For
ads. But it
sure.
did give it did give us a lot of good feedback in the comment section on like the price and general sentiment of this new idea. Got some orders, but again, it was just very competitive. So my product it's like $65, but it's higher end luxurious product. We use Tencel premium eco-friendly fiber that is especially knitted for our tea, so nobody else has it. And it's just like a new design too. Nothing else is like it on the market. So it is a higher price point. So I think it would require more touch points for the customer to feel okay with. I think, which we don't have the ad capacity for right now, especially on TikTok. But on Pinterest, your ad dollars are can stretch more, and also it's it has an SEO component too, in our
Right.
audience of millennials and parenting and being neuro inclusive, and that neuro inclusive means or neurodiversity means like folks with ADHD or on the
Right.
autism spectrum. Yeah, and so there's a highly active community on TikTok for that. So that's why we're targeting TikTok. But yeah, I think so we're just bootstrapped right now, so we're just going to Pinterest and sort of dollar stretch more there.
Just trying to see what, yeah, kind of like
Yeah.
sticking things, get a wall, throwing things at a wall and seeing kind of like what's working. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, yeah, like online, on TikTok or like any of these platforms, I feel like people will say things that they would never say in person. They're just gonna like post a comment like you would never say it to like somebody, but at the same time, it can also be good feedback. But also like you don't know if the person, seeing the ad is 14 and lives halfway across the world.
Mm.
I'm not sure. Like that's a challenge. Like with TikTok, sometimes you have like you don't know if that person either way would be able to be a customer. So it's just I don't know, taking that kind of like with a grain of salt.
Yeah, exactly. So I think our strategy for TikTok now is just to run random Spark ads to test out our different markets that we want to test out. Yeah, TBD on that. Well, I guess it's a never changing thing, so just
For
a
sure.
process.
Well, I guess like for you, right? Obviously, that you mentioned that you were in a different role before, right? And starting this company. So, what would you say is like the one biggest piece of advice that you wish you knew before you started this company?
It's Keona, you know what you're doing. Just trust yourself. You got this.
Yeah, for
That's the
sure.
big
It's
overarching.
no, yeah, yeah. I think it's good. I feel like oftentimes, like you're gonna make mistakes, and I've, so many people that we've talked to, they have kind of like a similar, advice, but it's just like you don't know until you actually try these different things. Like whether you're talking about even now, like TikTok versus Pinterest versus anywhere else, like you're not gonna know until you actually go and try it out. And because something that might have worked for like a different brand might not work for your brand. So it's really like figuring out those things. And so I guess like if we're going to chat again in 1 year from now, where do you see things going for your business?
Yeah, 1 year I want to. So right now we only have one product. So definitely multiple product lines. We want to have our work leisure line expanded, and then a lounge wear. And then we want an athleisure athletic wear line, especially for and then we will be primarily solving for the nipping and also having more comfortable, not as constrictive option for folks who want to wear a bra or bra alternative. So having all three of those, being able to support myself in my business, because right now I'm, like just doing any other odd jobs I can find,
Right. Yeah.
money. um, and have my team be able to support themselves with victory. That would be like the ultimate goal.
For sure. So more cash flow and more sales. That's for sure.
Yes, yes. And then,
Awesome.
yeah, building a community with victory where women feel shamelessly comfortable with themselves.
That's awesome. So if somebody watching this wanted to reach out to you, do you mind sharing your company website or social media, I guess, best ways to get in contact with you?
Yeah, so our company website is VKTORI victory.com. And then our Instagram is VKT victory dot co, and I think our TikTok is victory dot co as well. And then yeah, my LinkedIn is Keona Moy, and I'm always open. I love it connecting with people.
Awesome. Well, Keona, thank you so much for your time today. We're rooting for you, and hopefully in a year from now we can chat as you guys keep growing.
Sure. Thank you, Dan.
Thanks. All right. Bye.
Bye.